Myanmar, also known as Burma, the land of thousands of golden pagodas, scattered like pearls around the countryside. A country with some of the most beautiful scenery in Asia. A globally recognized biodiversity hotspot with unspoiled habitats that harbor many endangered species, such as the wild Asian elephant, the tapir, Asian openbill storks, and stump-tailed macaques. Lakes, wetlands and rivers are gently spread throughout and home to more than 1,000 species of birds. On account of the region's remote location, limited access and rugged landscape, scientific exploration has been kept to a minimum. Decades of isolation have made Myanmar the most tree-covered country in mainland Southeast Asia. Almost 50% of the country is blanketed by a variety of forest vegetation. This is Myanmar. And this is the Dusky Leaf Monkey, or spectacled langur. The name comes from the large white circles around each eye that give these cute little primates the appearance of wearing eyeglasses. The langurs are arboreal and spend most of their time in trees, sleeping mostly at night, although a well-deserved nap during the day doesn't seem to harm anybody. As langurs dwell high in the forest canopy, they don't have many predators. Their greatest threat is people on the lookout for a tasty meal of monkey meat. After a gestation period of 145 days, a single infant is normally born. Twins are rare. The babies spend most of their day suckling. All baby langurs are born orange, the color of a carrot. Princes of the canopy, turning grey after about 6 months. Nobody really knows why, but perhaps it allows the rest of the troop to keep an eye on these inquisitive young langurs as they explore their surroundings. Dusky langurs typically live in small groups, with an average of 10 to 17 animals. During the day, the troop will splinter into smaller groups to forage through the trees. They prefer to feed on young leaves, but will also eat fruits and flowers. Langurs are big eaters. Due to their large stomach, each individual will consume up to 2 kilos of food every day. The mother provides the majority of parental care and food. Or at least, so they say. Tastes good. magic. Gone? But the day isn't just about finding and eating food. Time is also allotted for rest, grooming, play, and jumping. They jump with ease from branch to branch, raising their long tails to steady their balance, seemingly enjoying the rides. Having a youngster hanging on her stomach is no challenge for a langur mother. Jumping up to 15 meters is a true roller coaster feeling. Dawn disperses the darkness and heralds another day in the forest. This is one of Myanmar's many wetlands. Home to a large colony of different water birds. Like the Asian Openbill Stork. Large groups of openbills forage together in close proximity in the shallow waters. They walk with a slow and steady gait. They feed mainly on large mollusks, using the tip of their beak to separate the body of the snail from its shell. During the mating process, Asian openbills fly near each other, often above one another, and eventually pair. Like other storks, broad wings allow them to soar on thermals of hot air for sustained flight. Openbills nest in colonies, with numerous nests in the same tree. With open wings, the adults shade their eggs and their young to protect them from the sun. Males court females by boasting of their prowess as nest builders. They show females potential nesting sites and give them a taste of their construction skills. In doing so, males demonstrate the qualities of their genes, as well as their willingness to invest in reproduction. The nests are close to each other, which leads to considerable jostling amongst neighbours. These are usually only displays. Openbills rarely fight. During copulation, males stand on the females' backs and touch their necks with their bills, while establishing cloacal contact. The Asian openbills live, eat, breed, and nest in the colonies. A pair will lay 2 to 4 eggs and share incubating duties. It's early morning in Inle Lake in Shan State, one of the most magical places in Myanmar. A 1,600 square kilometre area of wetland, which is home to hundreds of species of birds, turtles, butterflies, reptiles, and fish, hunted by the iconic leg-rowing fishermen. Inle Lake's Wetland Sanctuary is one of the country's Asian heritage parks. Now, the Asian openbills have waited 25 days for their eggs to hatch. The chicks emerge with cream-coloured fur, and their frenzied demand for food starts its everlasting circle. Myanmar conjures up images of the archetypal Asian jungle. Lush rainforest dripping with moisture. A group of hornbills looking for roosting sites. Forests alive with a rich assortment of wildlife. Like an infant stump-tailed macaque, with its charm and half-naked fur, carefully watched by the parents. Long-tailed macaques always on the hunt for food. The golem-like offspring, perhaps too far away from its parents. Gibbons, with their steady crooning, among the noisiest mammals in the world. wild Asian elephants, spending up to 18 hours a day, eating 200 kilos of food. Colourful peacocks. Males fan and shake their hypnotic tail feathers, a well-known trick that obviously works with the peahens. The country has an abundance of migrant birds, passing through with the seasons. Like this small hummingbird, a wonder of our planet. A hummingbird flaps its wings up to 80 times per second, and its heart rate can reach 1,200 beats per minute. It's the only bird species that can hover and fly backwards, or even upside down. The great hornbill, one of 15 estimated different hornbill species in the country. Myanmar is home to an impressive number of birds that vary from residents to migrants just passing through and to wintering birds. With its excellent sense of hearing and smell, but very poor eyesight, this is a very shy and rare mammal, the Asian tapir, a 2-meter-long giant weighing up to half a ton. But while tapirs are often confused with hippos or anteaters, their closest living relatives are other hoofed animals like horses and rhinos. The rainforest is bustling and hustling with all kinds of busy wildlife. Various species of birds building nests for their eggs. Or collecting food for their chicks. Feeding their open and demanding beaks in a never-ending attempt to satisfy their hunger. Starting their day at dawn, stump-tailed macaques spend the early morning roaming and feeding. They are omnivores, but a significant part of their diet is devoted to fruit, seeds, flowers, leaves, and roots. These old-world monkeys move quadrupedally in the trees, but more often on the ground. Dominance is the deciding factor in who gets to mate. High-ranking males monopolize females, and the alpha male will often have to fight to keep his dominance of the entire troop. The females gather around the babies to protect them. In order to assume full control over the group, a desperate alpha male may hurt or even kill a male infant. Most often, the fight is short and rough, but without casualties. But sometimes, consequences are more severe. This defeated challenger has been left hurt, wounded, and confused, with scars that may prevent him from eating, walking, or participating in the troop's daily life and activities. As is this poor little fellow, a stump-tailed macaque infant who has unfortunately strayed too close to an alpha male fight. It looks like the adult female macaques have already abandoned it, leaving the lonely infant to an uncertain fate. But not these two, a male sibling and one of the youngsters in the troop. In an incredible moment of empathy and true compassion, they try to help and comfort the wounded baby, perhaps instinctively realizing it has next to no chance of surviving. Neither of them seems to know what to do, except just to be there. As the group of mothers concentrate on their healthy families, the wounded infant clearly needs to be alone. Like many other species, it seeks out isolation and loneliness when death is near. But for the rest of the troop, life goes on. The females continue doing what they are best at, protecting the young ones, eating and grooming. The stump-tailed macaques begin life with white, fluffy fur. As they mature, a thick, dark brown color develops on their bodies. Apart from the face and tail that is so small, it often appears to be missing. The macaques mostly travel and live on the ground, not being too agile in trees. But that doesn't seem to bother this little one. Perhaps tired of all the family grooming on the ground, the infant is drawn to the challenge of the trees. Wonder if this is high enough. When the infant realizes it has climbed too high and calls for help, its mother finally decides to bring it back. And then, here we go again. For some unknown reason, a new fight is taking place, apparently involving the entire troop. These two alpha males are about to attack each other, but then they change their minds. And finally, rain comes to the rescue. Soothing the troop of stump-tailed macaques as they seek shelter under the forest canopy. Inlay Lake measures 22 kilometers by 10 and lies in a valley between two mountain ranges, surrounded by small floating villages and pagodas built on stilts. Roughly 1/4 of its surface is covered by carefully tended floating gardens, originally created through extensive manual labor by the Intha people. It's like another world. In the morning and afternoon, women farmers paddle up and down between the rows, tending their crops. Many fishermen still steer their one-man boats to their fishing grounds with the characteristic rowing style, wrapping one leg around their oar. The Inthas grow vegetables, flowers, tomatoes, squash and other fruit and vegetables on long wooden trellises, supported on floating mats of vegetation. These islands can be cut, dragged by boats, and even sold like small pieces of land. The farmers gather up weeds growing on the bottom of the deeper parts of the lake and make them into floating beds in their gardens, anchored by bamboo poles. "70,000 people are dependent on the outcome from Inlay Lake, on the fish in the shallow water, and on the different crops in the unique floating gardens. This is the Venice of Southeast Asia. Myanmar is home to more than 1,000 species of birds that vary from permanent residents to breeding birds and visitors who like to spend the winter in Myanmar to escape colder conditions up north. This is the cattle egret, a cosmopolitan species of heron found in wetlands and streams, breathing heavily when hot. Although normally white, both parents grow yellow plumes on their heads and necks during the breeding season. Cattle egrets nest and breed in colonies, shading their chicks from the sun with open wings. The chicks are downy white. waiting for a meal can be a challenging experience. Egrets are very social, often sharing their colonies with other wetland birds, such as herons, other species of egrets, and the glossy ibis, here with another 2 chicks to feed. The egret clutch size can be anywhere from 1 to 5 eggs, but sometimes even 3 chicks can be one too many. The 2 eldest chicks in an egret nest will often attack or reject the youngest, sometimes even kill it. Or, since there is only sufficient food for 2 hungry chicks, the parents will favor the first 2, ensuring that later on they will be able to survive and fight for food, dominance, and safety. This younger chick has been isolated and seems nervous and lonely, looking enviously at the elder siblings being aggressive at feeding time. Perhaps realizing that parents are not always the safe haven and feeding machine they ought to be. What began as one of nature's heartwarming scenes is about to end as one of its most gruesome. The chick is confused, and in a nasty case of defending the firstborn chicks, one parent begins attacking its own offspring, stomping it down with a long foot. With sudden determination, the parent makes a crucial and final attack. It grabs the chick by its beak and head and shakes its tiny, fluffy body. The siblings stand idly by. As do the neighbors. Then it's all over. The newborn predator is rumpled but victorious. Leaving a chick that never lived to fly. And leaving the colony to wonder what happened. Looking at the feeding activity next door is one of the other wading bird neighbors in the mixed colony, the glossy ibis. The glossy ibis gives birth to 2 or 4 chicks. Both parents incubate them for about 20 days. The chicks are very aggressive at feeding time. Like small robots, they constantly twitch and move their necks back and forth to be fed. Annoyingly, they mob their parent and push its beak or body, finally triggering regurgitation. After 2 to 3 weeks, the young will wander or climb about the nest. After about 4 to 5 weeks, they start flapping their wings in a first attempt to move away from the nest. Finally, it's time to fly. The parents stand by and challenge the chicks. Then, take off. A small step for man, but one giant leap for mankind. This is a small step for the chicks, but a giant flight into the future. One chick is hesitant, and its sibling moves back to assist. It's easy. Look at me. Just flap your wings, and up you go. The parent is impatient and tries to lure its offspring with hidden food in its throat. When it finally decides to move from one branch to another, the chicks fly and follow, getting their reward. Although they are almost 6 weeks old and with fully developed wings, they still depend on being fed by their parents. And then it starts all over again. And again, until the chicks are ready to fly to feeding areas with their parents. After the breeding season, the entire colony breaks up and migrates to other areas. The land of thousands of golden pagodas. Temples, stupas, and monasteries are scattered like pearls around the countryside. As are canals, rivers, rainforests, and wetlands. Myanmar is an ethnically diverse nation with 135 distinct ethnic groups or tribes, such as the Pa'o people, a small part of the Pa'o ethnic group maintains animist beliefs, but for most of them, Buddhism is the predominant religion, as practiced by 90% of the country's population. The culture of Myanmar is synonymous with Buddhism. Like temples and pagodas, religious festivals are scattered throughout the year. Its people and history are a glorious mishmash of settlers and invaders from many fronts. But only in a very few places on the planet are nature, animals, and people still as well balanced and linked together as in this ancient Asian culture. Myanmar, the Golden Land.